Hey, what up everybody? This is Steve Breach coming to you here today. We're celebrating the big holiday, 420 going down. The store's running out of Pop-Tarts, we're running out of Funyuns. Ice cream flying off the shelf, frozen pizzas, can't believe it. But we're counting down to the Monday Night Raw tonight. It's kind of a weird story popped up on my Twitter time machine today. As I was flipping through on my lunch, I was eating my Hot Pockets, and it says that WWE is going to be banning Seth Rollins from using the curb stomp in the future, and they're going to be removing all past videos of it, which kind of sucks, because when Seth Rollins won the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania 31, when he cashed in during the Brock Lesnar Roman Reigns match, of course it was a curb stomp, which led to him winning the championship, which means that if any or any upcoming Seth Rollins DVDs, documentaries that would be coming out, it'd almost sort of be like the Randy Orton title change when he won his first championship against Chris Benoit. When you go back and you watch was it Evolution of a Predator, the Randy Orton documentary that's out there, it's probably up on the WWE Network. You can watch it on there. Very small references to Randy winning his first championship at SummerSlam. It's almost like it never happened because of who he won it against, and it sucks. I almost look at this story like it's sort of just a story that came out of thin air. It seems that there's no really documented proof behind this story, other than somebody said when they watched his Titantron last week on Monday Night Raw. They didn't really show any video to go along with it. His normal Titantron shows a few versions of the curb stomp being applied, and the video was mostly just his name being on the screen and very few video flashes, but the curb stomps all edited out. Who knows if this was because of where they were out. Maybe they just didn't want the curb stomp on the Videotron at that time. But if this does go through and the curb stomp is taken out because of so many various lawsuits being put on WWE as well as the NFL, definitely a lot of people looking into head trauma as a reason of not wanting pro wrestling or professional football around, and past football players and past wrestlers suing their past employers because they've grown old and now their heads all loopy from being in the business this long. We'll have to see. I know that there's a really good documentary that was done by PBS. I watched it on Netflix. It was about the effects of football on a football player. I can't remember the name of it, but if you hit me up on Twitter, I'd be able to look it up if you were looking for it. But it is a very, very good documentary. Chris Nowinski is featured in it. Of course, Chris Nowinski, a wrestler for WWE, I believe around 2002, 2003, came in, using the Harvard gimmick. Really got his head beaten in due to a feud, mostly with Tommy Dreamer. And he had to retire from WWE due to head trauma, and now he is a guy that looks at brains and the effects that sports have on these brains. And sometimes I think that he's trying to make the game safer, and sometimes I look at it like he's trying to make it where the game isn't the game anymore. Sometimes I think he pushes it a little bit too far, and sometimes I think he's actually trying to help the game out, trying to make it safer and trying to make it better. I know that if you watched professional football last year, you could definitely tell that the kickoff game has changed. There's very rarely a kickoff return unless there's some sort of a penalty. They've moved the kickoff line up, so most of the time they shouldn't even do the kickoff anymore. They should just be handing the ball to the other team. They start on the 20, but then of course that takes away the onside kick or that little muff kick they do up the center when they're trying to make sure that the other team retrieves the ball in bounds so they can tick off more time. Maybe they're looking for some sort of a fumble. Some guy flips out because the ball's actually coming his way. But for Seth Rollins, he is a guy, when he was in FCW/NXT, he did use a super kick when he was wrestling on the indies. Of course, if you go back and watch the I can't remember if he did one at WrestleMania. Something tells me he did it at WrestleMania, but I know that he did it for the first time in WWE at the Royal Rumble. He did the Phoenix Plunge. It's the Phoenix Plunge, right? Or is it the Phoenix? He jumps off the top rope, and I made fun of him at the Royal Rumble because basically it looked like he gave John Cena a headbutt directly to the nuts. by doing a flip off the top rope. It is a move that he could be doing. Definitely is a move that he is, you know, he's not a young guy. He's not, you know, young, but I mean, like, he is one of the younger stars at WWE. Definitely a move like that is going to be taking some effect on your body over time. I know that, I don't know, honestly, I understand that, you know, the curb stomp is a move that if it's done wrong could mess you up. But if you see a guy like John Cena, when John Cena takes the curb stomp, he almost does like a little jump before he takes the move, so he has more time for his body to react to the fall and catch himself before his face actually, you know, smashes into the mat. Your face isn't supposed to splat into the mat. You're supposed to catch yourself with your hands, slow yourself down to where you hit the floor, but you're not hitting it at 100 miles an hour. I'm not seeing how maybe they could sort of modify the move a little bit to make it a little bit different, but a little part of me says we're wasting a lot of our time right now, and that, you know, somebody got the wrong end of a story, or somebody just looked at something wrong. And I wouldn't be surprised if Randy Orton, you know, eats a curb stomp, you know, 5 minutes into Monday Night Raw just to shut everybody up about this. But we'll have to see. Monday Night Raw is going to be on in a few hours, and we're going to see the countdown to Extreme Rules. We've already got the Tough Enough announcement. People sending in those tapes, trying to get on the show, and it'll be debuting in June. So we'll see you guys down the road and see what's going on.